No, this
Yeah, and you're
get
just like
out.
your partner's watching. Like, I guess it's only the men, but let's just say it was universal for everybody. Like your partner is listening to a murder mystery podcast, and they look at you, and you just see them plotting how to get away with your murder.
Right? It's just there's so many.
You're
All
like,
right.
honey. Jumps down and slides down the hill. I see shots going above his head.
So she's like, oh, great. On her one day off, you're trying to romance this Pan Am chick. I'm like, honey, it's V. It's not me. Come on.
Brought back some old Catholic school memories, did it?
Oh, man. Yeah, you just... Okay, you know the DMV sloth?
I know you're going with this.
Yeah, this guy.
You're listening to On the Rewind.
Hey, welcome to On the Rewind. We're a bi-weekly podcast from the Neon Blinds Media Production. We air on Amherst Island Radio, 101.3 FM, and we stream wherever you get your podcasts. Whether you want to download or stream, let's see how your data is. But we are recording a little bit early, so our news is hopefully relevant. I'm a little bit ahead, but I'm going to throw it to Adam.
All right. Thank you very much. So yeah, we actually were kind of just having a conversation before recording, and I didn't know if I was going to share it, but then I thought it is kind of, it's funny in a way.
Monetize that grief.
Yeah. So, just a heads up, my grandfather's not doing the best. He's better than we thought he was, but wills and stuff started coming into question and all that sort of stuff. And you're probably wondering how this gets funny. So he has a collection of classic cars, and he has a 1966 Corvair, which we rode around in when I was a kid. I have so many memories in it, and I love it. It's a baby blue, well, actually technically Corvair blue car. Beautiful condition, absolutely mint. And then he has a 1967 Corvette Stingray, forest green, pretty much mint condition. He has a little bit of spider cracks on the paint, but still original paint. Both mint condition cars, and that was my two choices for the cars that I could have if and when he passes, or maybe beforehand. But anyways, but I could only pick one. I decided to... Oh, I just had the thought of what I could have done too. I decided to go with the Corvair because of the memories.
Yeah.
The Corvair, just for understanding purposes, is about $50,000. That's how much it's worth. We're getting the Corvette appraised right now, and it's coming in around $170,000 if it is perfect, and $150,000 if we're kind of not. I just thought I could have just picked the Corvette and then bought the Corvair from someone who got it. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I still stand by my decision. It's just kind of funny to think I didn't really think monetary when I did, but then I just started thinking...
In my opinion, nor should you when it comes to something like that. No,
and I think I guaranteed my spot in the will by doing that, but anyways, yeah, it, I didn't really think of how much that was going to be.
And if you maintain it, the monetary value will go up over the years.
Oh, it definitely will. And I'm driving that thing. Oh my God, it's so sweet.
That is one of those things you drive in the summer and it stays in heated storage the rest of the year to keep it in good condition, and you don't drive it on the rainy days.
Oh God, no. Yeah. The one thing I can say is I've always loved how he drives the hell out of his cars. He takes them for like 3-hour trips up north. He takes them everywhere. He's not, because people always like put them in a garage and they kind of stay there. And I never liked that. But, yeah, that was just
think about the Johnny Cash song, that I've Been Everywhere, Man.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But yeah, it was just, yeah, that was always something Adam admirable about it. But yeah, that was just kind of closing up that story. But I do have don't know if I'll keep this in. It's almost like I'm working on my type 5 here, because I had at the gas station where I pump, cashier, and manage. I was pumping gas one night, and we have an account with the Deseret Fire Department.
Yeah.
And they always end up coming very, very late in the day, even though they know when we close, but whatever. And I went up to the guy. I said, "How much would you like?" He said, "Just fill it." And these guys come around not that often because there's not a lot of fires, knock on wood, for Deserano. So it's always great. But usually if they do, they come in for training, because they've been training, so they used up gas and they want a full tank. Obviously makes sense. But he comes in, I ask, "Oh, have you been training?" He goes, No, just had a few calls today. It was just gas leaks and stuff like that. I go, "Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's I say this line to like every police officer, every firefighter. I say, "Oh, it's great when you're having a slow week." And then like I kind of chuckle. And I don't know if he's heard that one too many times or something, but he goes, "Yeah, I don't really like fires." I go, No, they're bad. Yeah." And he looks at me like angry. He acts pissed off. He goes, "Yeah, like I just don't like watching everyone's like belongings go up in flames." And I start realizing I'm on the other side. I'm almost arguing for fires at this point, I guess, in his mind. Right? And it's just like, I don't know. And then I go, "Yeah, like that's really awful." And like he's shaking his head upset. And it's like, I understand I sell gas, but like I don't start fires. I don't know what happened. But for pretty much like the rest of the conversation, he just like started saying everything that comes from fires. It's just like, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get how like people are out fun when they see fires. I'm trying like desperately to agree with him too, but nothing's coming through. So yeah, it was kind of funny actually to see a firefighter afraid of fires, but to each his own.
I mean, that's their life they gotta risk. But at the same time, and now I say this with, I have the utmost respect for our emergency services, but there's that part of me that wants to play the devil's advocate and say, well, there's bonfires, there's fireworks, and
Oh yeah, no, you swear to God that I was wearing a shirt that just said like "I heart fire" on it. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, any type of fire though, this guy's not about it. Don't bring up fire.
You're on fire, man. You're doing a great
Yeah,
job.
like, I'm gonna get run over by the freaking truck. But yeah, kind of keeping on the same path of the gas station. We kind of turned into a used car lot over the past 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah, it's been great. The few times I've actually gotten talked to by the manager, which is kind of funny. But we have had a trailer, a Chevy Cruze, I think Chevy makes a Spark, right?
I
Chevy.
believe so.
Yeah, Chevy Spark sounds right. And a bicycle left at our gas station for multiple days, all back to back to back. So be it for a flat tire, for the trailer that looked like it was just dug out of a swamp, like falling apart 70s style trailer. The Chevy Cruze, it was actually kind of funny. The key fob wasn't working, so it kept thinking that the person was stealing the car, so she had to leave it. And then she said, "Oh, she'll be right back." And then 3 days later, she tried sneaking in to take the plates off of. So I had to give her a talking to about that. And I went away for a weekend, come back, and there's a Chevy Spark from Alberta just stuck at our pumps. Can't move. And then yeah, some guy stole a bike. The police chased him, and he ditched the bike in our ditch. So yeah, that is that's kind of been my work
Eventful.
weeks. Yeah. Yeah. And then yesterday I had a bill that was half burnt with blue dye on it. So I don't know if banks use blue dye packs like they do in the movies, but if they do, this was in it, which is pretty cool.
Just accept stolen currency.
Well, yeah, it's funny. All the blue was on the back of it, and I just I grabbed it, and the guy was gone already, and I was just like, oh, that's weird. It's all burnt up, and there's singe holes in all of it. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then the
Did you check it for counterfeit or?
No, it's not counterfeit.
Okay.
It's real. I just felt it. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And the manager just said, okay, just try giving it away. And I give it away on the other side up, and it's just covered in blue dye. And the guy goes, I'm not taking that. And I look, I'm like, oh, I should not give that away. And yeah, I don't know. I see it feels too much movie-esque that it's like, no, something else had to have happened here, but looks suspicious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, it's never a dull moment there. I kind of love it, but at the same time, it's kind of taxing when you're just trying to have a slow day at work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, on the bright side, well, just because this kind of segues into, stolen money, everything else like that, the closed beta for Payday 3 starts tomorrow.
Ooh, shit. Oh, damn.
It goes till the 7th, but...
Yeah. Okay.
Not that our podcasters will get to know. This comes out the week after, I believe.
That's actually... You missed out if you're listening now.
Yeah. But if you're listening now and you played, send us a message, comment on the social medias. What did you think of it?
Yeah. That's really funny.
Because we're on the rewind.
Yeah, so we're going way back with this one.
Yeah.
Speaking of probably going to be outdated, Kayla and I did the Barbenheimer experience.
Okay, Barbenheimer. So you watched Barbie and then you watched the other one?
Well, actually, with how the tickets worked out, it was Oppenheimer and then it was Barbie.
Okay.
But
I've seen nothing but the memes of this.
Yeah, so do you know what Oppenheimer is about?
I know that Cillian Murphy's in it, and you like Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I was actually really.
I think it's about like a bomb or something like that.
Yeah, Oppenheimer is like the father of the atomic bomb. It's just all about his race to do that. I won't spoil anything for anyone, but the only thing I can say is do not see this in IMAX because it almost induced a panic attack more than a few times because it has flashing lights. It has bars of light going up over the screen, and the sound absolutely rattled me. There was multiple, thankfully I wasn't the only one. Kayla was also getting kind of shaken by it. She's like, this just isn't feeling great right now. I don't know. You're kind of sinking into your seat. You're like, I think my heart's going to skip. I feel my heart skipping, I think. Because everything is just rattling. So yeah. No, besides that, great movie. But there was a few times.
Sounds like a great viewing experience for someone that wants to experience the father of bombs and possibly the bomb going off and you're not knowing if is this inside or outside.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Ukraine, are you okay?
Yeah, it was kind of freaky. But yeah, really good movie. It's just there was a few times where we both had our fingers in our ears because it was just whoa, this is way too much.
Yeah. Do you think it could have been the theater's fault for playing it too loud?
Well, actually, speaking of the memes of it, a lot of people in the Barbie movie have heard the atom blast go off in the Barbie movie from the opposite theater.
That's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they're intentionally just cranking the volume, But I
Yeah.
mean, there's multiple times where like it'll be just a random conversation, and then it'll just show fusion particles with the volume blasting at you, and they'll cut back to the conversation, and it's just like, you gotta give me something here, man. This sucks. But yeah.
And
So that was
how
all.
was the Barbie? Was it Ken enough? I've seen that meme.
I'm not gonna lie. I loved it. It is so poorly marketed. It is a amazing comedy. They do not give it justice. It's a great comedy. They
Probably watch it when it comes to the streaming services.
oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was just shocked by it cuz like the first let's say 3 minutes or probably 5, it's like very like kiddish, cartoonish, and it's
Yeah.
just like, "Hello Barbie, hi Barbie." And I'm like, "Oh my good god, what am I doing here? This is just I paid for this." And it's having like Barbie's having an amazing day, and I'm not spoiling anything cuz this is literally 5 minutes in. And like everyone's having a great time, and it's like, "Hi Ken." And he's like, "Hey Ken." "Oh, look at me Barbie." And it's like, "Okay, that's great." And they're having a dance sequence, and like everyone's like, "I want this to be this way forever." And then Margot Robbie goes, "Yeah, does anyone else think of death?" And I'm like, and everything stops, and I'm like, "Wait, what?"
So
And
this is Perfect Utopia Midlife Crisis, the movie.
pretty much it
So what we're
hooked me
all
from-
experiencing, in modern day right now is like, it's not perfect. We're all going through a midlife crisis, especially with the economy.
And it's juxtaposed to what Barbie in Barbie Land thinks with the real world, and it's the funniest thing you could ever think of, because they're like, yeah, Barbies have saved the world because like we have a Barbie president and we have a Barbie construction worker, and that made women know that they can be construction workers or presidents. And then they get stuck in the real world and they see a construction site, and they're like, "Oh my god, a construction site. What a great place to find women to empower us." And they walk over, it's just dudes with their guts out, and they're like, "Hey lady, I'd like to see myself in your shorts." And she's like, "Oh." And they just catcall her to no end. And yeah, I thought it was an amazing movie. It does talk like it's pretty heavy-handed sometimes with like the social justice issues, but like they do it in a way that you're not rolling your eyes. You're just like, they'll always put something in there that just makes you kind of chuckle. And I couldn't be happier with it. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I keep hearing it's like, so what I keep hearing is it's a sleeper hit, and then from like the left, it's Republican trash, and then from the left, and then from the right, it's like it's woke. It's like when I look at it, and then there's just people that are just doing YouTube shorts that are just like, yeah, it wasn't bad. Go see it.
Yeah, like
So
Yeah,
I
it is-
also think it's probably a really good movie. I mean, good for her. She needed a win after like the kind of Suicide Squad flops.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Like she's great. She's a great actress, but like I don't know. She's just kind of been like, with the exception of Wolf of Wall Street, like it's not that she's been losing. It's just, and she's had some spotlight for different reasons, but it's just kind of she could use a win where she's the lead.
Yeah, she was kind of fading into the background. I understand that.
Yeah. She was a great supporting actress, but now she's actually, she's actually led in something, and it's, from the sounds of it, it's really good.
Yeah. Like, it's not like it's the empowering women where it's not like putting down men. It's just being like, now let's empower each other and be equal.
But it sounds like the construction site's a little accurate.
Oh yeah. There's nothing where they're actually putting it out of like, they're not overplaying much.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot that you're like, no, that's pretty accurate to what I've seen in the last 24 hours.
So it's
Um,
a theme with like a slice of life that's also, like a nostalgia. It's weird to think is Barbie is nostalgic to people. Sorry,
yeah.
phone went off. It's
Yeah, no
because
worries.
just my childhood was Scooby Doo
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like Teen Titans and stuff in that vein. It wasn't the Barbie movies or anything like that.
Oh. Oh,
But Disney
super.
Princess is fine, but it was never Barbie. So it's
Yeah.
like, but at the other end, the people that did experience Barbie for childhood, that is nostalgic for them. So it's weird because it's like, my frame of reference isn't there, but at the same time, there's nostalgia for just about everything for everyone to a certain degree, depending
Oh,
on how
yeah.
old you are and where it places in your life.
Yeah, and I think Barbies were like more nostalgic for just like a little bit older than us. I think that was
Yeah, I think early 90s, late 80 kids hit it instead of us mid to late.
Yeah, because then there was like Lola's Pet Shop and Bratz and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Littlest
us, I
Pet
think-
Shop, that was the big thing I saw the ads for, really.
yeah,
That
Yeah.
and what were those things called? Like Webkins? My cousins were huge into that.
yeah, and so was your co-host actually. Yeah, no, I think I heard him say something about that where
Yeah.
he wasn't allowed a dog as a child, so they got him Webkins. Yeah,
Yeah. What kind of Webkins did you have? What animal?
it was a Chihuahua. Yeah,
You
I
know
made
what?
him-
I was like, I got no problems with that. My cousins got me one. I checked out the sites and everything else like that. It was it's another browser game.
oh yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just like, all right, the animal you got. Did you get the chooser? Or was it given to you?
I chose it. Yeah,
Well, you know my opinions on Chihuahuas, so
yeah. I thought
your
they were
Webkins
really cool.
needs to support Webkins.
That's funny. But yeah. I made a dog bed out of a clementine box. I think I've brought this up before.
you want to guess which one I had?
Dragon.
No, which animal? Oh,
Yeah, I thought it was a
dragon's a thing. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, they are now. I don't know if they were in the original.
I
but
don't
yeah.
know. I didn't pay that much mind to
Dude, you're not subscribed to the newsletter. What are you doing?
the Webkins. Are
Yeah.
you?
No, totally not. Anyways, what one
I
did you
fucking
have?
love you, man. I had a pug.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cute. That's sweet. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. And I think it's funny actually looking at the movie theater crowd. It was a lot of people like my mom's age and a little bit younger, but yeah, I think that was like the generation that Barbie really hit for them.
I saw this one meme that had a bunch of like guys dressed in pink in it, and it was like for every like one woman there is like 6 guys in the theater.
It was funny because Kayla and I dressed in pink. I had my pink Converse on and I had a pink overshirt.
Am I gonna
Yeah.
see that on your Instagram feed later?
Actually, no, it's weird. We never really take pictures of ourselves.
You just do the trend for yourselves, and then
Yeah. Damn, we probably should have.
you're tongue tied on that. Just when I do happen to look over at like one of your guys' socials, it's usually like you guys doing a thing or a bit.
Yeah, you mean like the once in a millennium will you actually check your Instagram and all the funny stuff I send you?
Yeah, and then it's a great 15-minute break filled with laughs, and I'm like, I f***ing love this guy.
Yeah.
I also I get too many notifications from Instagram it gets buried because all the people that follow you, all the people that you follow, and I follow a lot of different D&D things.
Oh yeah,
and
I
a bunch
shut
of other
every
stuff.
notification down except for messages.
I should revert it to that. It's just I got invited to like 2 group chats with people that I do like, but at the same time, I don't offer anything in the way of conversation in them.
Yeah, especially when they're going constantly.
Yeah, so it's like if I left message notification on, my phone would be going almost nonstop throughout the workday.
Yeah.
And I have to leave my notifications on during the workday because I am not quite like a shift. I have shift supervisor responsibilities without being a shift supervisor.
Yeah.
If no one else is there, I close up shop and message security. If we're low on stock and stuff like that, I message, the people that need to be messaged and stuff like that. Like, I'm one of the few people in the shop that if they see me have my cell phone out, they know I'm doing it for work.
Yeah. Which
Or
is
hit
always
next
a great
song.
feeling. Yeah. Yeah, it's always a great feeling.
So it's like, yeah. It's just one of those things. I can't have apps bombarding me like that. I'm almost tempted to, like, if I end up officially getting a position, it's like, hey, can I get a work phone? So I can,
Smart. Very
unnotify
smart.
and just have them do that. And
Yeah. No, my dad has that. He has an iPhone for work and Samsung for personal. I think it's kind of smart to have.
yeah, ideally, I'd like to go that route, but I'm not going to pay for a second phone out of pocket.
Plus, you look like a drug dealer, which is kind of cool. Have you ever been on a call with two phones?
Yes.
I love doing that. I just, I just wish I had a suit on or something. Just say business, business, business. But yeah,
Because I used to have the two phones going, because the one was like, it was crapping out, but I still had all my phone games on it.
yeah.
And all my music. So I'd use that, and then the current phone now that's bombarded with everything used to be pretty bare bones and clean
Oh, okay.
until the other one stopped working. It's like, all right, let's move this stuff over.
Okay, what else? Oh, did I tell you that Kayla got a kayak?
No, cool. I've actually been thinking about getting a kayak myself, though the partner very much prefers sitting in the canoe without having to do anything.
That is hilarious.
But I'm also tired of having to deal with other people's balance.
It's so funny you mentioned that because Kayla, when she was in a canoe with Michaela and Julia, was like, I was doing everything. I'm getting a kayak the second I can. So in the way, she was inspiration. So yeah, now she has a kayak and it's on the side of my house.
Well, if you ever want to go up north.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, no, actually I bought a pool floaty to be tied to it. So yeah, and it has cup holders in it, so I can drink my White Claw. So for sure, yeah, I'm down. It's like a zero commitment, zero effort for me. Like,
until we get to the waterfall portage and you start getting scared.
Just holding the drinks above my head, just as it's a duck too, as the duck goes down. But yeah,
I mean, if the water's high enough, it won't hurt. If the water's too low, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it's only like a 8-foot drop followed by another 4-foot drop.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
In
yeah,
quick succession.
Yeah.
Just don't tip.
It's a pool floaty with a case of White Claw on it. It's sound. It's safe. But yeah, we actually picked up the kayak in Kayla's work truck, which it runs great, but it looks like garbage. And
did she get a new vehicle?
No, this is blue.
Oh.
Yeah. So she uses that for work, which is great. So I actually don't have to wake up at
Cody's
6
old truck?
a.m. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She uses that, and I think she pays for insurance and gas, and yeah, she can use that for work, and we use it for running around too, but mostly work because it's good, but it can't really go on the 401 or over 90 or else the wheels start to shake too bad. So anyways, but yeah, so we took it to pick up the kayak, and I didn't know that we were going into that neighborhood in Bath that that one that's built around a golf course?
No, I'm not too familiar. Like I'm familiar with Bath, but
So
it's usually just passing through.
perfect. So the Storm's Corners that
I know
when
where the
you're
Circle K is.
so when you're on Highway 2 and you turn right to get into Bath,
Yeah.
that new suburb that's on your right-hand side when you go down that hill.
Okay, I'm usually going into Bath by the waterfront.
Oh, that's the problem. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's been this suburb there for years upon years. I've never really gave it much thought. I just saw it and I thought it was actually low income housing, but I couldn't have been more wrong. Um, it is surrounding a golf course and is filled with the most snooty people you could ever imagine. I could have probably opened up a Hollister store with all the polos in there. Like, no, I'm not. I think every single guy had a polo and they all seemed to be different somehow, which was kind of cool but weird at the same time. And there was the first ever time I've seen golf cart crossings instead of sidewalk crossings or right of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were special paths for golf carts. And you had to brake and stop for golf carts. And the guy had 6 kayaks and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just ended up not using that one as much." And it's like, dude, this is a $700 kayak. And he's just like, it's fine. I don't know. Sold it for 200. There's a few scrapes on it, but he didn't get much use out of it, but whatever.
I mean, good for you guys.
Oh, great for us. It's just, I can't believe there's people like that. It's just completely opposite of what I thought. And just walking out of the truck, I just felt I stuck out like a sore thumb. And I don't like that sort of crowd anymore. I don't know. Reminds me too much of the McCaffreys, so kind of just bleh. I don't know. They're all just judgy for no reason. But yeah.
Like how you judge them for, it's got to be low income housing.
Well, yeah. I didn't threat them for it or anything. I didn't care about it. I just assumed because it looked so close together near the road that I was just like, oh, it's no, they just put the big tall houses there to keep out the commoners, but whatever. But yeah, no, so that was kind of great. Yeah, that's pretty. I do have a question for you, but
Okay.
before that, the one thing I actually just watched it at work today. Have you heard of Walking with Chaos?
Walking with Chaos. Sounds familiar, but tell me about it.
Or is it Chaos Walking? It is. I'm gonna do this movie so bad. Give me 2 seconds. It's called Chaos Walking, released in 2021.
That's
And
the guy that played Spider-Man's film.
yes, Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Holland. Yeah. All right. So, very interesting concept based on a book. They are settlers, new planet. That's kind of basic.
Okay.
But when they go there, for some reason, only the men, their thoughts are projected out in front of them like a mist. And it is very interesting to kind of see how that plays out. And all work after I watched that, all throughout work, I was just like, I would start thinking of something, and I'm like, how crazy would that be if that was just broadcasted to the world? I don't know. Thoughts?
I looked it up, and the third Google suggestion, why did Chaos Walking fail?
To be fair, didn't see it at all advertised. It was at the very bottom of the list. But yeah, I wasn't an awful movie. I think it's more the concept that's cooler than anything.
Yeah, I guess the Screen Rant alleged review of it is no fault of the actors as their on-screen chemistry is hard to fault, but the screenplay just did not do enough to make the audience care. I guess is what is the big complaint. That a lot of Todd and Viola's scenes felt incredibly repetitive.
Yeah. That
resonates with you?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, a lot of the time.
Apparently, it's got like 21% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one funny point where Tom Holland's sitting with the mainly female lead and like they're talking, they're kind of close. And then the scene they end up kissing, but then you hear her say, "What are you doing?" And it's his thought projecting that image. And it's like he goes, "Nothing, nothing, nothing. I'm Tom Hewitt. I'm Tom Hewitt. I'm Tom." That's all he's thinking out loud.
Yeah.
As he's trying to block a thought out, and he just goes and walks away. And yeah, I don't know. I was thinking it'd be really, really bad for society, but it'd be really, really funny to watch.
Yeah, it'd be. I mean, Chaos Walking is a very adept name for that.
Oh, right. Oh my god.
It would be nothing but chaos and men basically trying to scratch. Could you imagine doing like you had a bad thought, or like you're trying not to be aroused and you do the old, like, you know,
oh my god,
like thing, and then that's what pops up.
just yeah. Oh my god. It's like he's just thinking about puppies dying constantly. This is awful. It's like, is that your grandmother? It's like, no, it's not. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just, actually, the court system would be hilarious.
Did he do it? And the guy didn't do it, but he thinks about how he would do it, and then it's like, guilty. Yeah. And you just see the you like when you walk in, you just see the judge picturing you hanging. He's like, "Oh, this is off to a great start."
Yeah, like so many things would. You'd have to. I guess the only thing would be is like friendships would be very, very good. They'd have to be.
They'd have to be, and one slip up, like one intrusive thought, could be the end of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're just sitting having a beer, and just the one intrusive, just all of a sudden it's like me stabbing you. It's like, what? It's like, no, I was just thinking if I was to do it, this was how but I'm not gonna do it. I just was thinking about. I don't know. I saw violent movies, so I was just like, wouldn't this be cool if I was like John Wick in it? It's like, no, this.
Yeah, and you're just
out.
Like your partner's watching. Like, I guess it's only the men, but let's just say it was universal for everybody. Like your partner is listening to a murder mystery podcast, and they look at you, and you just see them plotting how to get away with your murder.
Right? It's just there's so many.
You're like, honey.
Okay, try and keep this as PG as possible for the radio. But you're just going at it, and she looks up, and there's just like the grocery store clerk floating above your head. And it's like, hey. No, I was just making a grocery list in my head, I swear.
Or for whatever reason, like, your best buddy pops up. You're like, are you gay? It's like no. And then it just gets, you know, more intense in the movie. Maybe.
No, he just said something really, really funny. I can't remember it. It's just you taking off your shirt. It's like, Adam. Yeah. No, see, that's what I mean. That's why I wanted to start this conversation. Yeah. It's like, it's the funniest thing you could think of. For like, everything would be ruined. Absolutely everything.
Oh yeah, because humans are so flawed. There is, like, you'd be like, oh no, just so many things could go wrong. But hey, at least if you go to a bar, you know if the person's interested. And then you also know if they're too interested.
Oh,
or not as interested as you are.
Yeah, it could really. I think
dating would be easier,
right? Yeah, that's what I mean. It could solve.
Marriage would be harder.
Oh, yeah. Like the only reason it would be better is because it's like you gotta know that this is it. You gotta be like, yeah, you'd have to like it kind of force you just to be really, really open. There's no hiding any secrets whatsoever.
Yeah. And then, I mean, like, we probably have, like, 100%, like, what's that rate called? Prosecution rate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. No, that'd be actually kind of...
But the thing is, like, cop planning evidence. And you just see, he's like, where am I going to put it on you? And everyone else just looks at the cop that's put the plan in.
That's hilarious.
Racism would be pointed out pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, no, like no one could hide it. There wouldn't be. That's so funny. There wouldn't be any like secret KKK members,
or they knew who to recruit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff would thrive and die.
People with God complexes would definitely stick out.
Oh yeah, cults would probably be gone.
I don't know.
Well, what'd you think if it's just like, oh, these people are so stupid?
Think of a commune, they don't explain the visions correctly, and...
Oh, true. That actually kind of plays into the movie a bit. Yeah. Because, no, I won't spoil it. It didn't do too well, but it actually is very interesting to just watch play out. But yeah.
I think it could easily probably be just either... Like, you had a killer cast for it, so I think it could either be the writing or the directing that kind of caused that, because it's a great concept idea.
Oh, yeah, and, like, it was from a book. And, like, the book did really, really well, but I guess they didn't adapt it too well onto the screen, which sucks. It happens a lot, but it sucks.
That's the writing.
Yeah. But, yeah. Besides that... Don't got too much going on. What about you?
It's been a pretty just kind of typical week. It's been more of just the blue collar grind. But I'm excited for what releases like this upcoming month and next month. As in the way of games, we got a lot of like D&D kind of based and like games coming out, almost too many at once. But the big hitter that's coming, and it's coming, I guess, 2 days from now, and about last week for when this airs, is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes, I've actually started watching stuff since you brought that up.
Yeah, are we gonna do a on the rewind playthrough of that? Maybe
we should. Oh, okay. Really, really quick.
Yeah,
got an old small TV.
Like CRTV or?
Yeah. Real old small TV. It would actually be kind of perfect for like a small set. Just, you could play something on that, no problem. Yeah. Sorry. That'd be just
I was just thinking Duck Hunt and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. No, like it's like, probably the screen is about like 4 phones put together, but yeah. I think maybe actually the size of a regular laptop screen, but yeah. It'd be great. Could just plug that in, play something, plug the PS2 in, play it, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you could probably put a stream card in between those two, and then yeah.
Yeah, you definitely could. I have a capture card.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, continue, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of those games, we got more information off the Dune Awakening MMO that's coming.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Dune movie or books?
Movies, yes, love them.
All right. Well, they're coming with a massively multiplayer online game.
Okay.
So they touched on how there's going to be like the worms are going to be in the game. They're aiming for 1,000 people per server.
Not bad.
Like you're going to have your settlement that you're at. You're going to be building temporary or permanent settlements potentially. So the soundstorms, they're going to be huge and deadly. They're going to be capable of tearing flesh from bone. If you're caught in one, a still tent might be your only help. You might know what that is. I don't.
Yeah. Just a low down tent.
Yeah. An out-fraying still suit, outdated design, low cast mass production means no natives of, I don't know how to pronounce it, Akaris?
Yeah.
Would be caught in open wearing this off-world still suit. There's desert construction. Structures can be built on solid rock.
Okay.
Or will eventually
anyone who's
allegedly
watched the movie is waiting for one thing that you're gonna say. So continue.
All right. Your desert constructions, if they're built on the sand, will eventually be destroyed by sandworms. Which are apparently very active.
Oh yeah.
One-man ground car, nimble vehicles favored by scouts and scavengers for short distance travel.
Yeah.
They'll be able to carry some gear, and they'll be able to be customized with some modules. Not sure what those modules will do. Maybe be like nitro or armor. There'll be ground cars that allow 4 passengers. They can be specialized and serve as light combat vehicles or, cargo. I guess cargo is going to play a heavy thing in it, and I understand the themes of Dune. So it's going to be like, I have a heavy feeling it's going to be almost like you're a mercenary group doing these kind of things. You're going to be banding with other people to try and balance this MMO player economy. Now, I haven't heard them use the words player economy yet, but it's what I'm thinking. They get into more transfers. There's the Highliner. So I guess they're talking about guilds. So space and guild transports are going to be like, the off-world. They say it's a reminder of the off-world scrutiny, though consuming spice from Acreus. Guild members cannot foresee the safe paths through the space. So I guess spice has something to do with that. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah. Spice is
making it. If you don't have spice, things get spicy.
Yeah. Pretty much, it's kind of used for hyperfuel, but yeah.
There's going to be the day-night cycles, and there's going to be scorching surface temperatures and temperature plunges. There's going to be water disciplines and stuff like that, and harvesting dew from shrubs and thriving in the shade. There's going to be villages all over the map. Keep your weapons holstered, or you'll have to face the locals.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, that kind of dynamic that you can, I guess, potentially shoot up villages and stuff like that, or the villagers could shoot you up if you backed away at a line.
Sweet.
There's going to be ecology labs, ancient stations, from the first Imperial explorers. You're going to rediscover them, and then you're going to study some of the technologies and adaptations to species, and find out less conventional research, and be able to use that. There's a heavy aspect of safety in numbers.
Yeah.
They touch on desert mouse, how it has deep roots in the mythology and the culture, and the ability surviving in the desert.
I'm just gonna ask.
Yeah.
Riding the desert worm. That's what I'm waiting for.
There's no talk about it.
God damn it.
From the articles I pulled.
All right. Okay. Yeah, how sick that would be.
But you're going to be using a device called the Thumper to distract the worms.
Yeah, those are cool. Because the worms are attracted to rhythmic motion. So yeah, you have to actually kind of do a dance walk when you're walking on the sand. That's like out of tune.
Yeah, but a lot of the ground vehicle combat that they touch on, a lot of the large sandworms can devour the vehicle whole. So you're going to have these scenes where you're driving and trying to outmaneuver this worm. It's trying to swallow you. Well, that's just the thing they touched on that. And that's cool. Being made by Funcom Games. It's a studio that opened up back in 1993.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. Other games they've had is the Conan games, like Exiles, Conan, Chop Chop.
Yep.
There's one, Unchained. They have the old horror game, The Park, Dreamfall, Longest Journey. They did an MMO before, Anarchy Online, and an MMO before that, which I actually really liked before they remodeled it, The Secret World.
Okay.
Which is now Secret World Legends. And the really cool thing with that was it was all the mythologies are real. All the things that went bump in the night are real. And there's this weird, like, inside Earth is this tree and all its roots that links to different parts of the world. And you become one of the 3 faction secret societies, whether it's Illuminati, the Way of the Dragon, or the Templars. And you choose one faction that you work for. There's some PvP in it, and you can also work with some of the other factions to take on some of the enemies. And like the first area you're dropped into is this backwater town that's having a zombie apocalypse, and you're trying to find out why.
Okay.
And then you end up start dealing with like these wraiths and stuff like that. And then there's this another one where you're dealing with like vampires, and then there's like the end. You're trying to prevent like this end of the world thing. It's cool, but they changed it up a lot. Like it used to be like choose 2 weapons and that's your class, and then they ended up changing it because people were struggling at the end game. So they built presets that you would just follow down instead.
Okay.
Which made it easier for the player, and then they cut some content that was, I guess, I liked all the lore content.
Yeah.
But they cut it down to be more, I guess, less side questy.
Oh.
But it's kind of what I liked about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and learning all the new cool stuff that, it makes sense. It's kind of fun.
And then they made kind of like an XCOM-like game with a mutant Year Zero Road to Eden.
Okay.
Which was this, there's this pig humanoid, this duck humanoid, and then there's this human that kind of like gets stone skin. And it's like, all your team is made up of these people that have these mutations.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then they released Dune Spice War, which is apparently an alright strategy game. Metal Hellsinger. And then their newest one coming up is the Dune Awakening is their big thing. And also, for anyone that's interested in gaming careers, they do have 41 different jobs that they're looking to fill.
Wow.
They got like 11 in art, between 3D artists, concept artists, technical artists, senior art director, animation director, lead animator, material artist, lighting effects, VFX artists, and stuff like that. Like all the stuff that you'd want to get into of animation there. Design, technical designer, engineering, between UI, gameplay, tools.
Oh, they're really like putting on a bunch of people for that.
Oh yeah. Marketing. IT operations and stuff like that. They got 2 positions there. They got like 6 in production. And quality assurance, like data analysts and stuff like that. A lot of QA. Even a junior game tester. So if that's something you want to do, that's potential there.
Well, yeah, get paid to play games. Why not?
Yeah. Well, also, it's a lot harder of a job than you think, because it's like, okay, well, I gotta make sure this is quality, and then you talk to the devs. It's that classic, like, lower end talking to middle management that doesn't want to take it to the upper management.
Mm-hmm.
Is the career in the nutshell. But you get to play video games and get paid.
Yeah.
But it might ruin your fun for playing video games doing it as a career.
True. Plus, you actually kind of have to be a little bit skilled in trying to break a game.
Yeah, you're going to be breaking it.
Yeah. Okay, and this is the end of our Amherst Island broadcast, 101.3 FM on the Rewind. We are going to continue this conversation over on Spotify or anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you back in 2 weeks.
Welcome back to On the Rewind.
All right, Harry Potter Quidditch, and we are back with the extended edition where we just touched on Funcom and the Dune games and their history, as well as a little bit of Secret World. If anyone's a fan of MMOs, you probably understand a little bit of history on that. To move things a bit forward, going to touch on the newest addition to Harry Potter, no, not Legacy, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions gameplay has been leaked, and it's an online game, and I believe it's looking like it's off the same engine, though it's looking a bit more shelly, close a step back from what they did with Legacy, and more towards what they're a step closer to Borderlands by
Oh,
the looks of it.
okay.
As I just prep by scrolling, I'm gonna send you the screenshot there.
Yeah.
So a little bit over 10 minutes gameplay was leaked online.
That looks nice, yeah.
So full character creation, customization. In addition, players can choose from the likes of Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy, Ron Weasley, and more. Now, we don't know if they're going to be going closer to the actor's portrayal or if it's going to be closer to the book's portrayal of what they look like. With this style, I could see them going either way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that lids on. There's not too much to talk about on that. But back onto the MMO topic. So Final Fantasy XIV, probably one of the most popular MMOs there is out there. It's actually beating World of Warcraft in charts, which is very old-blooded game. The free trial is getting extended with more expansions. So now you're pretty much only, if you upgrade from the free trial, instead of buying like 3 expansions after you beat the trial, you're only buying 1. All the other expansions are part of the trial. There are some limitations, like you can only carry up so much currency. You're only able to do certain chat options. Can't use the market board. And you can't do like the guilds, but essentially you can still play all the content.
Yeah.
You just can't access any of the extended classes. So how it works is you build your one character and you level up your class, and that class opens up more classes.
Okay, so it's
you can go and level up whatever ones you want. Essentially, by the end of the game, you're gonna be leveling up every single class you want to play on one character.
Yeah.
They call them jobs. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna go do this job.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they kind of combo, you do the spear guy, and then you do one other class that's from another tree, and then all of a sudden you have this dragoon knight that's like, spear, and it can leap around, and it's wearing like dragon-like scale armor and all this other stuff, right? Like you kind of go from one thing to another like that.
Yeah, it kind of levels up like the skill base needed for it.
Yeah,
it makes it cooler.
But yeah, it's expanding on what you're going to have access to, and you're essentially going to you could play for free instead of paying a subscription, get to the end of that content, and then decide you're going to, like, okay, well, now that I've gone through all the free stuff, now I'll go ahead and start paying that monthly.
Yeah.
But essentially, 2/3 of the game is now free.
Yeah, it gives you a little taste.
Yeah.
I like that.
More than a little. But yeah.
Yeah.
Touch back on probably one of my best outros, taught how it just works. Allegedly, Starfield tagged as a play anywhere with cross-save support. I hope they don't do this the Payday 3 way, which has been announced that Payday 3 will be always online. You'll have to be connected to the internet to play it.
Yeah, that kind of stinks, but okay.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll probably still end up playing it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's an issue for us, but there are people that it's going to be an issue for. As as we got to hope that their servers can handle that.
Yeah.
At launch. But it only applies to digital purchases. Physical copies will not make eligible for a second copy on PC platform. But I guess between the Xbox Microsoft Store and the PC, buying a digital copy, it'll give you it potentially on both. Kind of like Sea of Thieves, actually, if you buy that on the Microsoft Store.
That's both?
Yeah, and you get copies of both.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Because it's all tagged under the same account, right? Doesn't matter what you're playing it on, it's under the same account. It's not like you can cheatsy doodle it and it's like, I bought it on Xbox, my friend can play the copy on PC and play with me. Nope, you're on the same account. You can only be actively playing on one.
Oh, okay. So it's give and take.
Yeah. But yeah, those are kind of some of the other stories to touch on here. So I touched back on it before the extended edition. So Baldur's Gate 3 is shaping up to be like, this is going to be my game for the rest of the year. Essentially, it's going to have 122 gigabyte size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it won't be able to be preloaded because they have the early access thing, and it works in a weird way. And downloading it early access, a lot of things are going to get overwritten anyway because the beginning of the game's a little bit different. Content creators that I watch for how they build D&D classes that do some of the number crunching for me. Basically, it's like, oh, they're doing a sorcerer or warlock. Well, how viable is that? Okay, that's what the projected damage numbers are going to be. Okay. And I let them do that work for me, and then I come up with a character concept that fits that.
Yeah.
Therefore, like the Paladin Warlock, I came up with the Orin. Which I kind of want to touch back on a little bit here and tell you about the session you missed this past weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds like a sounds like a good one. You victim.
It was. Orin has leaned full into the vicar role, to say the least. But what's kind of cool is that you'll be able to play any of the origin characters, change their classes if you want, or you can just leave them as neutral. You can, again, just make your own custom character from scratch and follow the story. And there's one background you can take with your custom character that is, your character has homicidal tendencies. You black out and murder people.
Oh. Okay. I like
it's not
that.
recommended for your first playthrough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the character creation is crazy in it. I heard a lot of streamers and stuff like that are gearing up for it, are buying it now so they can just figure out what they're going to create. No, it's the same company that brings you Divinity Original Sin and Original Sin 2.
Yeah.
Which kind of put them in the path to, make this game. Sorry, I'm just digging through my notes and trying to. I have some things crossed out from things I've already talked about.
Yeah, it's the same.
So I guess it's gonna go to, like your character's gonna get up to level 12, and just as a reference point, last time you played D&D, your character was level 11. So how strong you are currently as a full monk is going to be kind of how strong you're going to be in the game, near end game.
Oh, okay, so it's going to be a little difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's if you go with that class, and you could do completely something else. There's multi-classing, but that means also if you multi-class, like let's say you do 3 levels in one thing, you're only going to have 9 levels to get up in the other class.
Yeah, so you have to really think what you want to do.
Yeah, you're going to have to really plan your dips.
Huh.
I think we've gone over the classes before.
Yeah.
But the really neat thing is it does go up to 4-player. If you want, you don't really need any of the side characters. You can just play through the campaign with just you and 3 other buddies.
I kind of like that.
And just have a full on, and it has split screen for both PC and console.
Wow, that's a rarity nowadays.
I know. So if you wanted to have if our D&D sessions for whatever reason just cease to exist, we could just make this our D&D night.
That'd be freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Now I've sent this to you before, but Ghosts of Tabor, you remember that?
Kind of, but I keep mixing it up.
All right, you know the game Escape from Tarkov?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's VR Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just did a wipe in a Tarkov fashion. So everyone's starting at even playing ground and everything else like that. They've now made it like more interesting so because you're really dependent on your hideout. And you actually have to go try and find gasoline to power up your generator. There's water filters so you can hydrate your character at base as well as fill up water bottles for on the trail.
Oh, I like that.
And so it's leaning more into like the survival game.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
keeping your base going as well as yourself.
yeah. But yeah, also, now that we're encroaching so close and Payday 3 is around the corner in September, what's also so close is the MetaQuest 3.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's a fall release, supposedly in September.
How
And
much?
I'm actually kind of like, I want to get it eventually.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a lighter form factor. Like it's lighter, it's smaller, it's more powerful. It's like, technology keeps upgrading.
Yeah, yeah.
Or- And yeah, resolution's increasing. They're switching the lens style. And that'll act more favorably with your glasses too.
That's sweet.
So instead of the concave kind of fish eye lens that they've been doing, they're doing like the pancake lenses.
Oh.
Which is like just a flat. They have other tricks to make it VR.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
which
that'll
also
be...
makes it lighter, take up less space.
Yeah.
They have better AR integration. So that Demio game we were playing?
Mm-hmm.
You could now, if you want, line out your table, like a coffee table or something like that, and the board would be on it.
Okay, that's pretty sweet.
And the pass-through now has color. I think it was color. Yeah, I believe so in the marketing. Better quality imaging and stuff like that. So it's essentially like you didn't want to go with the Meta Pro or whatever it was. That was just kind of like the high end. This is our like prototype, and now this is the consumer after all the prototyping was done with the previous headset.
Yeah, so how much is this costing at launch?
I'll make sure I pull it up correctly, but I believe it's just like the cost of like a PS4 Pro right now.
A PS4 Pro?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it lowers the prices for the Quest 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to 300 USD.
Oh,
for the Quest 2.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, instead of the 400. It's taking the new price point, so I think like 450 American.
All right. Not awful.
No. Oh, so Canadian.
Yeah.
It will be just under $700. Like it's $689.99.
Yeah.
But here, I'm gonna send you the page and just like there's a picture of someone wearing it right below, and you can see how much like smaller that form is.
Yeah.
And mind you, this is Canadian. Inflation's still hitting us pretty hard. You're gonna get the second gen of controllers, which has the cameras built in, which is another part of the price point. So controllers have better tracking. They can track behind you and around you. And there's also some technology where they're showing that between these controllers will get small amount of body tracking. So you might be able to start kicking things in VR, which is careful, but you might need to be about that.
Yeah.
The amount of videos I've already seen of babies and dogs getting punched from the Quest 2 release last.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kayla's really going to get it.
Oh, no.
She's already gotten it a few times.
Yeah. But essentially, that's knocked off like $40 for us off the old Quest.
Yeah.
Like the MetaQuest 2. It's knocked down $40 from the price point I bought it at.
Yeah, what's it at?
It's at $420.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really knocked down.
So it's like $459, I remember. Like it was when I bought it, plus the tax originally.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they had the 64 gig versions. Yeah. As that is enough to only have like a handful of like a few games on now, whereas the 120 that they sell base model now, it's you can have a bunch of small ones or a few of the big ones, whereas I can have one big one and a couple small ones.
Yeah.
Currently. But that kind of touches everything on the game news. Did you have anything gaming wise you wanted to touch on? I just realized I do have one more story.
No, definitely go. Yeah, because I was gonna say gaming wise, not too much. I've been pretty much into Fallout 4, and I barely have had time to play it. But that's the only thing I'm playing.
I've been hitting Remnant 2 when I can.
Oh, okay.
And they just passed 1 million units sold.
Yeah.
Quite early today, as I am posting this, they announced this.
Oh.
It's Dark Souls with guns, essentially, but it's procedurally generated also. So you got like these multiple worlds and biomes that have multiple storylines. Like, so I was playing in mine, and I got this robot AI that asked for my help.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, you're not supposed to be here. What are you? Kind of thing. And my buddy ends up spawning in the same biome, but gets the story of this very evil presence, prisoner who wants you to go kill these 5 other things and bring back their keycards to free him. It's in the same world.
That's kind of sweet.
Same creatures. And then when you beat that, you go into this labyrinth, which I think there's only a couple versions of it. But the boss fight for that, it wasn't like a regular thing. It was survive not being crushed in this maze and shoot the nodes.
That's okay. So instead of like a really bullet sponge enemy, it's like
yeah. And it got and nothing really feels bullet spongy.
That's good.
Like they did really good with that, better than the first one in that regard. They give you 5 classes to start off with to choose from. They got the Challenger, which is your heavy armor. They have a shotgun, a big melee weapon, and has like all these like up in your face stun abilities and stuff like that. They have the Handler, which gives you the dog. Which your abilities revolve around the dog.
I love it. The bounty hunter.
Then they have the Gunslinger, which is the one I started off with, which I really like. Which is pretty much like your special ability is if you tap it, he pulls a hidden revolver, shoots the 6 shots in rapid succession.
Yeah.
In front of him to whatever enemies it's gonna hit. If you hold it, he charges up 1 shot, and it's like bang, real powerful like sniper shot. So if you hit like a headshot or a weak point hit with it, and you get like a big, nice, chunky red number and a large damage pool. It's very satisfying. And they got like the Hunter, which is more like your sniper, and their ability is like highlights all the enemies in the area as well as marks what their weak point is, because not all of them are like headshots to kill. They get to hit the weak point. They got a lot of them are like you're fighting different things, everything from weird elves with like harpy feet, and then to these like prisoner alien zombies, to like these tree monsters with rot and taking over their bodies.
Yeah, no, that's a full category list right there.
Yeah, and that's only 3 of the types. And then like the labyrinth one, they got like these stone things with these little like buttons that you have to try and shoot. They're like these like stone constructs that you're trying to take down.
Yeah.
Those ones are a little bullet spongy unless you know where to shoot.
Yeah.
But they make it obvious because it's a bright white glowing square hanging off of some limb.
Yeah.
Might be hard to shoot it, but you know where it is.
Yeah, yeah. I like when they hold your hand just a bit, just enough for the casual gamers.
And that's what this game does. It's just enough hand holding, to where you're not asking, But I was like, okay, what do I do? Now, they have classes you can discover. You can change your class on the one character. You're actually encouraged to do it because when you max out a class, you keep a trait from that class. Like the gunslinger,
Yeah.
as you level it, you get more ammunition in your reserves. You can
Okay. So yeah, if you go through all of them, then you pick up like that special perk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And,
makes
like,
sense.
And after you get your first 10 levels, you can multi-class.
Huh.
And so you can run 2 of these classes at the same time. So I'm a gunslinger and a handler, so I got my puppy and I can shoot my fast revolver real good.
Yeah, smart. I like that.
Or like if you wanted to be the challenger and be the medic. So you got a tanky medic, which is pretty much like your cleric.
Yeah.
Or if you want to be like, okay, I'm gonna grab my gunslinger and hunter, so my headshot or my weak spot damage goes up. I have huge ammo reserves and yada yada. And each of them have like 3 skills too, right? So I've only got the hunter up high enough to use the first one. There's going to be more powerful ones or different ones that do things. Like the gunslinger one, the first one you get, it's the revolver thing. And then the last skill in the tree, I haven't used the middle one, but the last skill I started using, and it makes non-automatic guns automatic. And your reload rate increases. You have infinite ammo while you're in this state. And that sort of thing. As well as, except for the guns you get from the tutorial, you collect these mods as you beat bosses. And you attach the mods to the guns, and it changes the look and aesthetic of them. But now they have ability. Like you can get this one that's like called Hot Shot, where now you're shooting fire bullets for a period of time, right? So
Okay.
you get the mod going, you pop the full auto, you scorch a whole wave of enemies.
That'd be really funny on a sniper. Just a bolt action going nuts.
I mean, I'm using a lever action, and it's just like, may as well be shooting an M15 real fast. Or like paintball speedballers, how they do like the 2-finger trigger method.
Oh my gosh!
And they'll sometimes be shooting as they're loading.
Oh, do you ever watch those where they're just dumping half the hopper on the ground? I'm always just like, come on.
I don't dump half the hopper, but I used to do that.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my god, just to have money, man. Just awesome that'd be.
You know how cheap it is to go paintballing?
Not at all. No.
Pretty cheap. You just have to have the people.
Yeah.
Like you can rent all the equipment, pay for a bag of paintballs, and like $100, go have fun.
Oh, no way. Okay, that's not too
bad. You just got to bring enough people.
Oh, yeah, just set up the limit so it's actually worth it for them. But that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if like you bring your own, like, $50 worth of paint and they fill up your air container for free.
Oh, sweet.
If you do CO2, there's a bit of a charge. But if you're just doing oxygen.
Oh, there's oxygen ones now? Or has there always been?
Yeah. So CO2, like, it doesn't, like, oxygen will go flat over time, I think, as well as you'll shoot more oxygen.
Okay.
Whereas CO2, the tank usually lasts a little bit longer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've only ever been paintballing once. Yeah.
I like it. I'm not a big airsoft guy. I prefer paintball. Mostly just, what's the worst that's going to happen? I got splatted on.
Yeah, it's funny.
Airsoft. It hooked underneath my mask and got me in the eye.
True. Yeah. But I was taken way too young as a kid, and I think I had a slight bit of PTSD for like a week, because it was like I would think about it, and it would like shock me out of sleep, or like, yeah, it was fun. Oh yeah, they took me way too young, just getting welted on, and like I was going with my uncles.
Did they at least give you some protective gear?
Oh, they did, yeah, but my uncles are ruthless. Like half of them are actually trained on real arms for like, all the police stuff, right? So like,
you're doing with police, while I'm doing it with like hunters and rednecks.
Yeah.
So most of mine was like, can I spot him in the bush?
Yeah, yeah, like they're good at, yeah, they'll thwart you. Like mine just did SWAT moves in the house that I was in and just peppered me.
Yeah, that's not how mine went. Mine was like I did a few ones that was interesting. Like I got a good memory of like being hunkered behind a beaten up car and just hearing the paint ping off the car and popping up and shooting a little bit, ducking back down. But
Yeah.
it was never like I never got SWAT team.
Yeah.
I think the most was like they had these like plywood houses making up like this fake villa.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think I was about 14 or so. I was charging through. I back slammed so hard against the one house as I took cover, it started to tip forward, and I had to jump and grab the top of the wall and pull it back down for cover.
Oh my god.
And also part of that is like we did like a 10-minute skirmish there, and then we got to go into an abandoned mental hospital.
That's
and they put like a briefcase in the stairwell in the middle, and it was which team could retrieve it first.
I like that.
If you got shot, you had to run all the way back to the other end and walk back, and get back to the fight after.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they had one that was like a wooden made helicopter, whereas the people in the helicopter couldn't respawn, but you know, it was just like a wave defense thing, and there's like a good 20 people. It's like one guy that I didn't know that my dad did know was Bachelor Party.
I was gonna say, where is this? Because these
Picton.
people put a lot of freaking effort in these ones. Holy shit!
Yeah, it was all in Picton.
Good for them. That's cool. So just blow up things in like a farmer's field. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I would have loved to get like, you know, a group together and just have like a little mini team, because they have like public days where it's like, yeah, go bring you and 5 of your buddies and go sign up for these skirmishes.
Yeah. Oh, you know, it'd be nice is renting an Airbnb, doing that there. Oh, that'd be actually kind of sick.
A paintball fight and an Airbnb, or just renting an Airbnb and going to like a paintball war?
No, like, sorry, renting in like an Airbnb, like kind of like the cabin where there was all that stuff there, and then just putting like mines down and claymores everywhere.
The cleanup though.
Oh yeah, the cleanup would suck. I was looking at on Marketplace for $2,000. There was an old APC carrier top. That makes sense. Like an old one. Yeah, and it had like the turret and everything. Obviously, everything was taken out, but like it was a metal frame that was all camo, and like there was peak holes and all that. I was like, you know how awesome it would be to just mount that on top of the Ranger bed and just go. You know how awesome that would be? Just get an LMG sort of airsoft or paintball gun and just go to town. Put that in the turret and just, yeah.
Speaking of kind of like shooters and stuff like that, I started looking at Call of Duty because they have the new Battle Pass that came out.
Yeah.
And they're really trying to sell this Black Cell like stuff with the whole like black and gold being like, oh yeah, you want the black and gold. So
yeah.
Give us the like that's no. I don't.
Yeah, it's
I want the like literally this battle pass is selling on the dog alone. The first dog execution in the new wave of Call of Duties.
Yeah. It's like not a lot of people care about like the things that look luxurious. They just want the things that are funny or really like to their personality.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are like, oh, I want to look very rich. It's like, no, I want the one that can kick the guy in the balls.
Like the armor aesthetic's cool, but like at the same time, it's like I don't like that coloring.
No.
Like I bought one character, and it's quite literally a guy in like street gear of like jeans, sneakers, some tactical gear, and like a long a t-shirt over top of a long sleeve, and a guy's scruffy like me.
I like it. Yeah. No,
and you know what I'm talking about, because it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's practical. I don't know. And it looks nice.
It's just like, yeah, that's me. But I guess Snoop Dogg's returned in this one as well. They got the Snoop Dogg pack.
I remember getting the Snoop Dogg voice lines for what was that?
Van-
Black Ops 2?
Vanguard, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, then I didn't play Vanguard, so he did it before.
Okay.
Cause
I don't know
yeah,
he did it before.
yeah, I remember getting that. Yeah, it doesn't.
But
It's literally just for your pleasure. It's not for anyone else. I just
yeah.
like it.
And so you want guess the name of the Snoop Dogg DLC pack.
High Life.
Return of the Snizzle.
Ah, damn it. Okay, yeah. I was thinking too corporate. I love it.
And they got now there is one pack that kind of looks cool. It's the Gunslinger Ghost pack. It's Ghost in like a cowboy attire. But you know, me and my Western cowboy stuff.
It's like,
I'm
I love
cowboy
you.
fan.
You know what pack looks cool? The Rootin' Tootin' pack.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I really like the Mystery Inc. pack. It's like, yeah, no, obviously you do.
I know
That
you,
would be
even if
sick.
you didn't play it and it gave you like all the vehicle skins for the Mystery Machine, I know you'd buy it.
Oh god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. What was that? I keep forgetting the name of it. Daybreak or something like that. That one Overwatch style game that lasted like a day.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've been talking. Yeah, we've talked about it a few times before, but like in the 24 hours that was alive, I actually spent money on the Mystery Machine knives for the assassin, and I hated playing her character, but it was just like, I'm not gonna not Scooby Doo reference in a game. I'm game.
Yeah. Again, it's you feeding into the hype train.
Oh, definitely. Yep. No doubt about it.
Mm.
All right. I think with that, we are going to wrap up this episode. Unless you got something else.
No, I'm all right. Oh, one last thing. I've been playing contradicting to our name of On the Rewind. I've been playing Punch Club 2 Fast Forward.
Okay.
So it's a time management game. Like it's also like a boxing game. So you're training this guy in these skills. There's these stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't actually fight. You choose the moves, but you're just like, all right. It's kind of like a train your Pokemon,
Okay.
but it's a guy.
But
Who's
it's
a
a human
boxer.
being.
Or it's MMA, and it's kind of funny. So you're starting as this guy that was sheltered from the world, and then you finally you're like in your mid-20s, and you're like, and you're friends of your old neighbor who's watching classic movies from our timeline, like our era of time, and this one place is like in like a cyberpunk future.
Yeah.
And so you have your normal currency, but you also have the good people points or good person points.
Okay.
GPP. And so you're like, all right, well, our food machine that produces food is broken. You talk to your mother and she's like, oh, well, I'm surprised they didn't turn it off sooner. It's like, what do you mean? Have we not been paying the bills? He's like, oh, no, I never paid for anything. He's like, have we been stealing? No. He's like, oh, phew. It's like, we just been collecting excess expenses. It's like, so stealing.
Yeah.
Without paying for it. And it's like, all right, well, I'm going to go talk to Henry, which is the neighbor.
Yeah.
And he's always in like the rabbit, like flip-flop, like, you know,
Yeah.
comfy, like bedtime. I wanted to say sneakers again.
Slippers.
What are they called? Slippers. There we go.
Yeah.
Not working. So you talk to him. He's like, oh, okay, well, you know, go buy me a burger and keep change and get yourself something. So you go to the convenience store. So it's this jar in this head. It's like, yeah, I sold my buy to go. I was going to buy a better, more aesthetically pleasing one. And then the food market collapse happened. It's like, oh, okay. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm buying the burger. It's like that. This guy comes in to go rob the place. But at the same time, guy comes in. It's like, oh, hey, Bobo, you here to rob the place again? And goes like, yeah, put up the register. Just nonchalant, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you got hit at the gas station every day, you're like, yeah, here it is.
Oh yeah, by the end I just feel like, oh my good God, fine here.
Yeah. And so, and your guy's like, oh, I'll stop you. It's like, and they're both like, what are you on about? Even the cashier.
Yeah, it's like you're the weird one.
Yeah. And the guy's like, it's like, fuck, if you're desperate, here's a, it's not a Snickers. They call it a Slickers.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, thank you. And so like that. And then he gets distracted. He's like, oh, you're so generous and everything else like that. He's like, and then he's like, so can we get back to our like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stop you, you generous bastard. Or you considerate bastard. And then you scrap, and you know there's a 50-50 shot depending on how you in this, and you get the place like, okay, what attacks do you want to do? You got like a couple of basic ones you can choose and whatnot, and depending on how heavy you go on the attacks, you have to manage your energy, your speed, and your health. So your speed dictates how many attacks can you do. Your energy determines how many attacks can you do before you pass out. And your health is how much can you take, as obvious.
Yeah.
So you're balancing all that. Because you can overexert your energy, your guy will collapse and take a good chunk of damage.
Yeah.
Right? But for every slot that you have that you don't place an attack in, you regain a small portion of energy. And then you have like this counter for rounds until either enough rounds go by, or depending on or more often or so, you're waiting until you take out the other person or they take out you.
Yeah.
So you get introduced into that combat, but the funny thing is just all in the storytelling of this game. So you go from that to essentially, no matter if you win or lose, you get arrested, and they're like, where's your chip? What did you do to your chip? It's like, what chip? It's like, why don't you have a chip? It's like, and you're just like, what chip? It's like the one that goes in your head. I don't have a chip in my head. It's like, how is that possible? It's like, I was kept home all my life and sheltered. And they start mentioning about your dad and how he was like one of the greatest fighters. Like, oh, tell me more about him. Oh, that's classified. It's like, well, how do I get classified? It's like, oh, you have to become an officer, which is 2,000 good person points.
You can buy becoming an officer like that.
Yeah. And then you go and it's like, okay. And as he's describing good person points, there's like, okay, well, we won't charge you, but you have to leave here with a chip in your head.
Oh.
Can't. And so you get the chip and everything else like that. And they explain, it's like, so good person points is if you want to get into high society and out of the poverty area, you have to have 9,000 good person points. Because if you hit 9,000, it means you are a good person. You only need 2,000 to be a cop.
I like it. It's an interesting story, but it's also kind of nudging you every once in a while. Like, you see that?
Yeah. So it's a lot of subtle humor running into it, and then they just got some like wacky stuff in it too. Like the first Punch Club, you could actually even go into the series and fight the Ninja Turtles. And you eventually find out that the food machine at home, one of the jobs you can get is to punch giant slugs of slime, and what comes out of the slugs, the slime, is what goes into the food dispensing machine.
Oh,
which caused the whole global like food collapse. Is that everything is pretty much just made out of this slime.
Gross. Okay.
Yeah. Which is also the response of the guy. And the guy, guy also, you never complained about the taste though, did you?
No.
And so, but there's like 3 different jobs aside from the police station that you can go to. And as you rank up in them, there's like the Russian junkyard, there's the ramen noodle shop, which will link you into the Yakuza, and then the Bobo and Sons food factory, which is punching slimes. They're their own gang, and each of them teaches you a different fight style that you can take and teach your character and pull from different cards and moves.
I like that.
But yeah, and that's as far as I've got in it.
Well, it sounds really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like it's a good time waster, but it's also like the story's intriguing enough. Like you want to get to the next kind of comedic bit.
Yeah, when you're managing, it's a managing game. I always like when it's like, no, you actually have to have something I want to work towards, or else I'm just watching another guy play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, that's kind of the last thing I wanted to touch on. Also, I got gifted Temtem, which is a knockoff Pokemon on Steam. So, either in the far or near future, I'll have more on Temtem.
Yeah. It just turns out it's like anime schoolgirls. That's
No,
your Pokemon.
it's just Pokemon.
Okay.
It's not one of my partner's video games.
Actually, yeah, I see her play those every once in a while. I chuck it for a good 5 minutes. I start coughing. I'm good. Yeah. It's like nice.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to On the Rewind. You've been listening to the extended edition. We air on 101.3 FM Amherst Island Radio. And you can catch us wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks again.
Thanks for listening to On the Rewind.